Never tell people what you do. Ladies and gentlemen, in a world that thrives on constant communication, social media updates, and endless opinions, it's easy to get caught up in explaining what we're doing. We live in an age where talking about our goals, our dreams, and our progress has become almost second nature. But there's a powerful principle that many overlook, one that can truly transform the way you approach success. Never feel the need to tell people what you do. It's tempting to constantly share your plans, to seek validation, or to announce every step you take. But the reality is that your actions speak far louder than any words you could ever say. Success is not built by talking about what you're going to do. It's built by showing up, putting in the work, and letting your results speak for themselves. The less you say, the more you focus on what really matters, the quiet, determined steps you take towards your personal goals. Today we'll explore the immense power of working in silence, of staying focused on your own journey, and of letting the world notice the success you've created without needing to explain or justify it. Your journey is yours alone, and it's in the silence, in the space where you concentrate and build, that true success is achieved. So let's dive deeper into why it's far better to work in silence, let your results speak for you, and focus on what truly matters. The power of action over words. In today's fast-paced, interconnected world, it's easy to fall into the trap of talking about what we are going to do rather than actually doing it. We've all been guilty of it at some point, sharing our goals with others, announcing plans, or even seeking approval before we've made any real progress. However, the most successful people don't waste time talking about what they're doing. They let their actions speak for them. The simple truth is this: actions are the true measure of success. The value of your work, your efforts, and your intentions can only be fully realized through tangible results. Words, on the other hand, are fleeting. They can be misinterpreted, forgotten, or disregarded altogether. But your actions, they leave a mark. They create something that lasts. Consider this. Have you ever been inspired by someone who constantly talks about what they want to do, but never seems to take the necessary steps to accomplish it? Chances are you probably didn't feel motivated or impressed. In fact, you may have even become disillusioned by their constant talk and lack of action. This is the trap that many fall into. They believe that talking about their plans will somehow push them closer to success, but in reality, it only delays their progress. When we constantly explain what we're going to do, we risk becoming distracted by the opinions and judgments of others. It's human nature to seek approval, to want to share our excitement, and to gain feedback, but this can lead to unnecessary pressure. People may have differing opinions, and their advice can pull us away from our original vision. In fact, the more you talk about your plans, the more you expose yourself to external influences that may distract you from your path. Instead of focusing on telling others what you're doing, focus on doing it. It's far more powerful to quietly work on your goals, making progress each day, than to constantly announce every step you're taking. Let your actions, your results, and your growth be what others notice, rather than your words. The power of action goes hand in hand with the principle of resilience. When you let your results speak for themselves, you develop an inner strength that comes from knowing that what you're doing matters, regardless of whether others are aware of it. This internal confidence is what propels you forward, even when external recognition is lacking. To think about the great achievers in history, the ones who truly made an impact. How often did they stop to announce their plans? How often did they waste time telling the world what they were going to do next? In most cases, the answer is hardly ever. They stayed focused on their work, and their actions over time made their success undeniable. There's a deep sense of fulfillment that comes from knowing you don't need validation from others to measure your worth. When you stop seeking attention for what you're doing and instead let your actions speak for themselves, you begin to experience true satisfaction. Success is no longer about impressing others or seeking approval. It becomes about accomplishing something meaningful on your own terms. By focusing on action instead of words, you also cultivate a sense of discipline and commitment. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of sharing your plans, but those moments of excitement don't build the life you want. What builds a fulfilling and successful life is the consistent work that happens behind the scenes, the long hours, the setbacks, the quiet dedication that others may never see. But when the results begin to show, that's when others take notice. The power of action far outweighs the power of words. Your actions are the proof of your intentions, and your results will ultimately define you. You stop talking about what you want to do and start doing it. Let your actions speak for you, and in time the world will take notice. By focusing on what you can control, your work, your effort, and your dedication, you'll find that the noise around you fades away. And the only thing that matters is the success you've created through your actions. Personal success is a journey. Success is often portrayed as a destination, a final point you reach after crossing a finish line. But the truth is, success is not a singular event or an end point, it's a journey that is uniquely yours. It's about the steps you take each day, the lessons you learn along the way, and the growth you experience as you continue moving forward. No one's path to success looks the same, and that's the beauty of it. When you compare yourself to others, or try to measure your progress against someone else's timeline, you're missing the point of your own journey. Success isn't a competition, it's a deeply personal experience that's shaped by your individual choices, values, and actions. Each person's road to success is different, and it's essential to remember that your journey will not look like anyone else's, and it shouldn't. The first thing to realize about personal success is that it's a process, not a product. There will be moments of great achievement, but there will also be setbacks and failures. Both are equally important. Success is not about avoiding mistakes, it's about learning from them and using those lessons to become stronger. Every misstep, every challenge you face, becomes a stepping stone that moves you closer to who you're meant to be. In this journey, there's no one-size-fits-all blueprint. While it's common to hear about the success stories of others, it's important to remember that these stories don't come with a universal formula. The circumstances, timing, and choices that led to someone else's success are often different from your own. When you compare your progress to others, you risk losing sight of what's truly important, your own growth. There is something freeing about embracing the idea that your success doesn't need to look like anyone else's. So often we get caught up in what we think success is supposed to look like based on the achievements of others. Maybe it's a certain career, a certain lifestyle, or a specific milestone. But in doing so, we limit ourselves to a narrow definition of success that doesn't account for the unique paths we all take. This doesn't mean you shouldn't be inspired by others or learn from their experiences, but it does mean you must forge your own path, one that aligns with your values and passions. Your journey is yours to define, and it's up to you to trust in the process even when it feels uncertain. Success is not about the external rewards you receive. It's about the internal satisfaction that comes from knowing you are staying true to yourself and pushing forward, no matter what. The more you try to match your journey to someone else's, the more you risk losing the power of your own unique path. Constantly comparing yourself to others can lead to frustration, self-doubt, and even paralysis. You might feel that you're not moving fast enough, or that you're not achieving the same milestones others are. But this mindset only serves to distract you from what you can control, your own journey, your own growth, and your own progress. As you continue on your path, it's essential to remember that the road to success will never be smooth. There will be bumps, detours, and even dead ends along the way. But these challenges aren't signs of failure, they are part of the process. Every time you face a setback, you are given an opportunity to learn, adjust, and improve. Success is built on resilience, the ability to pick yourself up after each fall and continue moving forward. Another crucial aspect of understanding that success is a journey is realizing that it's not always linear. There will be times when you feel like you're not making progress, and that's okay. The most important thing is to keep moving, even when it feels like you're not where you want to be. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Personal success is not a one-time achievement, but a continuous journey. It's a journey that's shaped by your choices, your actions, and the lessons you learn along the way. There is no set timeline for success, no universal path to follow. Your success is defined by you, and it's up to you to embrace your unique journey. Keep moving forward, trust the process, And remember that every step you take brings you closer to becoming the person you're meant to be. Avoid external validation. In our highly interconnected world, the desire for external validation is a natural and often unconscious craving. We live in a society that constantly encourages us to seek approval, whether through likes on social media, compliments from peers, or recognition from authority figures. While seeking validation is a common human instinct, it's crucial to understand that relying on external validation can be detrimental to your growth and your ability to define success on your own terms. The first thing to recognize is that external validation is fleeting. The approval of others may feel good in the moment, but it's not a reliable foundation for lasting fulfillment. Think about it: when you seek validation from others, you are giving them power over your self-worth. Your sense of accomplishment becomes tied to the opinions of people who may not fully understand your goals, your journey, or your values. This creates a dangerous cycle where your happiness and sense of progress are dictated by external factors beyond your control. True success comes from within. It's the quiet sense of pride and fulfillment that arises from knowing you're on the right path, regardless of whether others acknowledge it. When you stop seeking validation from the outside, you open the door to a deeper, more meaningful form of success, one that is driven by your internal compass, not the applause or approval of others. When you focus on your internal sense of validation, you shift the power back to yourself. You start to measure your success based on your own progress, your own values, and your own growth, not on how others perceive you. This allows you to stay focused on what truly matters, which is the journey itself, rather than chasing after external rewards or recognition. Another aspect of external validation is the trap of comparison. It's easy to get caught up in comparing your progress to that of others. You may look at someone else's success and feel like you're falling behind, even though your journey is unique to you. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy or frustration. The truth is, comparing your progress to someone else's can often cloud your vision and distract you from the path that's right for you. Everyone's journey is different. The circumstances, the timing, and the decisions that shape their success are not the same as yours. Instead of comparing, focus on your own growth and trust that, in your own time, you will achieve your goals. It's not about how quickly or slowly you progress. It's about making steady, meaningful steps forward that align with your values and vision. By seeking validation from others, you also risk falling into the trap of pleasing people. The desire to make others happy, to fit into societal expectations, or to live up to someone else's standard of success can lead to a loss of self-identity. When you define success based on what others think, you sacrifice your authenticity. You become more concerned with meeting external expectations than with staying true to your own vision of success. This is why it's so important to cultivate internal validation. Internal validation comes from recognizing your worth and your achievements, regardless of what others think. It's about building confidence in your decisions, trusting your intuition, and having faith in your ability to succeed on your own terms. The more you cultivate internal validation, the more resilient you become in the face of challenges, setbacks, or criticism. You learn not to rely on the opinions of others to determine your self-worth. One powerful way to avoid seeking external validation is to set personal goals that are meaningful to you, not to others. When you pursue goals based on your own values and desires, the need for external approval fades. You become driven by a sense of purpose that comes from within, which is far more powerful and fulfilling than the fleeting praise of others. Practicing gratitude for your own progress, no matter how small, reinforces the idea that your worth is not dependent on what others think. Celebrate your wins, acknowledge your growth, and take pride in the journey you're on. The more you do this, the less you will feel the need to seek validation from external sources. Avoid the trap of seeking external validation. Your success is not determined by how others perceive you or whether they approve of your choices. True fulfillment comes from within, from the deep satisfaction that arises when you know you're staying true to yourself and making progress on your own terms. The more you focus on internal validation, the more confident, resilient, and focused you will become on your path to success. Keep your eyes on your journey, trust in your own growth, and remember that the only approval you truly need is your own. The power of silence and focus. In a world dominated by noise, whether it's the constant buzz of notifications, the chatter of social media, or the endless demands of daily life, it's easy to forget the power of silence. We've been conditioned to believe that success comes from being constantly visible, from talking about our goals, and from seeking validation and attention. But the truth is, the most powerful thing you can do for your success is often the quietest. Focus and cultivate silence. Silence isn't simply the absence of sound, it's a state of mind, a deliberate choice to remove distractions and focus on what truly matters. In silence, we find clarity. We allow ourselves to connect deeply with our own thoughts, feelings, and goals. We create space to reflect, plan, and execute without being overwhelmed by external noise. Silence becomes a tool, not just a lack of noise. In a society that values constant communication and visibility, silence may seem counterintuitive. We are constantly encouraged to share our thoughts, ideas, and progress, and to seek external validation for our actions. However, the more we talk about what we're doing, the more we invite distractions. We give away our energy to others, to their opinions, and to their expectations. We lose focus on what we really want to achieve. It's in silence that we can reclaim that energy and channel it towards our goals. One of the primary benefits of silence is that it allows us to focus. In a world filled with distractions, focus is a rare and powerful skill. The ability to concentrate on what matters, whether it's a personal project, a career goal, or self-improvement, requires the ability to shut out the noise. When we focus, we move forward with clarity and purpose. Distractions can pull us in different directions, but silence creates a space to stay aligned with our true intentions. Focus is not something that happens automatically. It's something we cultivate through conscious effort. We live in a time when distractions are everywhere. We can easily become sidetracked by the opinions of others, by social media, or by the desire to be constantly engaged. It's easy to lose track of our goals when we're surrounded by so much noise. But when we choose silence, when we remove the external distractions, we allow our minds to become clear. This clarity is where focus begins. In silence, we also find the freedom to think deeply. In the rush of everyday life, we often make decisions based on immediate reactions, external pressures, or the opinions of others. But silence gives us the space to reflect, to consider the long-term consequences of our actions, and to make decisions that are aligned with our values and goals. When we choose silence, we give ourselves the opportunity to think critically, to problem solve, and to consider new perspectives. The greatest innovators, thinkers, and creators throughout history often worked in silence. They didn't need constant validation or public approval to move forward. They didn't feel the need to announce every idea, every step, or every achievement. Instead, they focused on their work, on their vision, and on their passion. The result was groundbreaking because they weren't distracted by the noise of the world around them. They allowed silence to guide them toward clarity and action. The power of silence extends beyond just the ability to focus. It also enhances our creativity. When we remove the distractions of everyday life, we open ourselves up to new ideas, new possibilities, and new solutions. Silence allows our minds to wander freely, to explore new territories without the constraints of judgment or interruption. In moments of quiet, we can hear our inner voice, our intuition, and our creativity. We tap into a deeper level of thinking, one that isn't influenced by external pressures or noise. One of the challenges in embracing silence is overcoming the fear of being alone with our thoughts. Many people are afraid of silence because it forces them to confront their fears, doubts, and insecurities. Silence can bring up uncomfortable feelings, but it's in these moments that we have the opportunity to grow. When we face these emotions head-on without distraction, we can process them, learn from them, and move forward with greater clarity. Silence is not a void to be feared, but a space for personal growth and transformation. Silence also teaches us to listen both to ourselves and to others. In a world where people often feel the need to talk over one another, silence allows us to truly hear what is being said. When we are silent, we can listen more deeply to our own inner voice, which often has the wisdom we need to move forward. Silence enables us to understand our desires, our passions, and our purpose. It also enhances our ability to listen to others, to truly understand their perspectives, and to build deeper, more meaningful connections. Another key benefit of silence is that it fosters resilience. In a noisy world, it's easy to get caught up in the opinions of others, to become distracted by the judgments or expectations placed upon us. But when we embrace silence, we create a mental space where we can remain focused on our own goals. We become less affected by the external noise and more grounded in our own vision. Silence helps us develop the mental strength to stay true to our path, even when others may try to pull us off course. Silence also helps us manage our energy. The more we talk, the more we give away our energy to others, whether it's in the form of social interactions, opinions, or validation seeking. When we embrace silence, we conserve our energy and focus it on what truly matters. We stop giving our time and energy away to things that don't serve our goals. We protect our mental and emotional space, creating the conditions for growth and success. The power of silence and focus cannot be overstated. In a world filled with distractions and noise, silence offers us the space to think, to focus, to create, and to grow. It's in silence that we can reconnect with our true selves, gain clarity on our goals, and make decisions that are aligned with our values. Silence is not a void, it's a powerful tool that allows us to cut through the noise and move forward with purpose. When we embrace silence, we embrace the power to shape our own success and live a life that is truly meaningful. The strength of consistency. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with quick fixes, shortcuts, and the promise of overnight success, one truth stands tall above the noise: consistency is the key to lasting achievement. While talent and motivation play important roles in reaching success, it's the habit of consistently showing up day after day that separates the dreamers from the achievers. The power of consistency lies in its quiet, steady momentum, and it is through this consistency that the extraordinary is born. Success rarely happens in an instant. Most people think of success as a big event, a final milestone that signifies you've made it. But success is not a single moment. It's a series of small steps, repeated day after day, with focus and determination. The compound effect of consistently putting in the work is what eventually leads to breakthrough results. It's easy to get distracted by the desire for immediate results, or to feel discouraged when things don't seem to be moving quickly enough. However, it's the long game that yields the most powerful results. Consistency builds habits, and habits build success. Whether it's exercising, learning a new skill, working on a project, or developing a business, success is not a result of occasional bursts of effort, but of the steady and persistent actions we take each day. It's about showing up when you don't feel like it, pushing through when obstacles arise, and continuing to make progress even when results aren't immediate. Over time, these small, consistent actions add up and create momentum that propels you toward your goals. One of the reasons consistency is so powerful is because it removes the need for motivation. Motivation, while useful, is fleeting. It can come and go, and it's often dependent on external factors like mood, circumstances, or inspiration. Consistency, on the other hand, doesn't rely on motivation. It's about commitment, discipline, and following through, regardless of how you feel in the moment. The more you cultivate the habit of consistency, the less you'll rely on motivation to get things done. Think about the greatest achievers in history. Their success wasn't a result of sporadic bursts of energy or sudden moments of brilliance. It was the result of years, even decades of consistent effort. Whether it's an athlete training every day, an artist owning their craft over years, or an entrepreneur building a business from the ground up, the underlying factor in their success was consistency. It's the consistent effort, even when no one is watching, that leads to mastery. One of the key components of consistency is patience. The world often glorifies overnight success, which can make us feel like we're falling behind if we don't achieve our goals quickly. But true success doesn't work that way. It requires patience, persistence, and the ability to trust the process. When you commit to consistency, you embrace the idea that success is a journey, not a destination. It's not about reaching the finish line as quickly as possible. It's about staying the course, making steady progress, and allowing time to work its magic. Consistency also teaches resilience. There will inevitably be setbacks along the way, failures, mistakes, and obstacles that challenge your resolve. It's in these moments that consistency becomes especially powerful. When you continue to show up, even in the face of adversity, you develop resilience. You learn how to overcome challenges, how to adapt when things don't go as planned, and how to stay focused on the long-term goal. Consistency doesn't mean that things will always go smoothly. It means that you will keep moving forward no matter the setbacks. Another crucial aspect of consistency is its ability to create habits. Habits are the foundation of success because they automate actions that would otherwise require constant effort and willpower. The more consistent you are with your actions, the more they become ingrained in your routine. Once a positive habit is formed, it takes less mental energy to continue performing that action. For example, someone who consistently exercises every morning will eventually find that it becomes second nature to wake up and work out without needing to force themselves to do it. This habit of consistency becomes a driving force in their overall success. Consistency also plays a huge role in building trust. Whether in personal relationships or professional endeavors, trust is built through consistent actions. If you say you're going to do something and you follow through consistently, others will begin to rely on you. Your reputation is shaped by the consistency of your actions. People know that they can depend on you because you've consistently delivered on your promises. The same applies to your own self-trust. When you commit to your goals and consistently show up to work toward them, you build self-confidence. You prove to yourself that you have the discipline and determination to see things through. Consistency gives you the opportunity to track your progress over time. When you work consistently toward a goal, you create measurable results. These results may not always be immediately noticeable, but over time, you will start to see the fruits of your labor. This allows you to adjust your approach, make improvements, and refine your strategy. Consistency provides you with data feedback on what's working and what isn't, so that you can continue to improve and make more informed decisions as you move forward. But consistency doesn't mean mindlessly repeating the same tasks over and over. It's important to be flexible and adaptable within your consistency. Consistency is about establishing a routine of consistent effort, but it doesn't mean you should continue to do something that isn't working. It's about learning from your mistakes, improving as you go, and evolving your approach while maintaining that steady effort. The strength of consistency lies in its ability to compound over time. Small, consistent actions taken every day may seem insignificant at first, but over time they lead to massive growth and transformation. It's like putting pennies in a jar. At first, it doesn't seem like much, but over time, those pennies add up, and you end up with something far greater than you ever imagined. Consistency is the silent force behind every successful endeavor. It's not the bursts of motivation or the grand gestures that lead to lasting achievement. It's the quiet, everyday actions that accumulate over time. By committing to consistency, you develop discipline, resilience, and patience. You build habits, create trust, and most importantly, you set yourself up for long-term success. So instead of focusing on the next big breakthrough, focus on the consistent effort you can put in each day. In time, you'll find that your small actions lead to extraordinary results. Thank you.